Darius Cooks is the gift that just keeps on giving. Never a dull moment in his presence.
Is he Darius Cooks or Darius Crooks?
He has some crazy people following him that are willing to do crazy things.
The chef and social media influencer has been accused of serving up scams for years, and if you call him out publicly, he allegedly retaliates by sharing your personal information. Cooks is now answering our questions in a Shade Room exclusive. I'm Justin Carter, this is TSR Investigates.
What I find funny is that he was willing to sit down with the Shade Room. You could say an unofficial news network, right? And they're pretty official, but it's not like the standard conventional news network like Fox 5, right? He was not willing to sit down with Randy from Fox 5. He was actually hiding, but he's apparently willing to talk to the Shade Room.
About doxing and cyberbullying is real, and it's hurtful and it's hurting people.
So what did the usually chatty Darius Williams finally have to say to us?
You could just go on record and say I'm declining the comment. That's it. Have a great day.
Well, wait a minute.
No.
These people are upset because you've been putting their personal information online, Darius. Come on, I thought you liked being on television.
We'll see if the Shade Room gives him some softball questions or they actually probe further and find the truth.
Darius Williams operates his million-dollar enterprise under the name Darius Cooks. Many of us know him as the funny, relatable chef who frequently pops up on live to connect with his fans. He sells cookware, he sells cookbooks, he hosts dinner parties that he says sometimes can net over $1 million in sales.
We've already addressed the Shopify sales. Shopify screenshot sales can be faked. You can go into the back end. You can see 50 orders to fulfill, right? If the orders have not been fulfilled yet, that is orders that he could potentially be ordering himself. Not to mention you can also rework or go into the back end of the web page browser and finesse certain numbers. So there's that aspect to it as well.
20 minutes ago just for the sake of this video, but as you can see, I mean, literally $1,000 in sales, what it looks like, that's completely fake. And basically what I did was made a fake order. So what people will do is they'll have an actual Shopify store, they'll have products, they will maybe even actually get sales and do stuff on it, but then they'll make it look like they're selling more than they are. And how they do that is they'll actually create an order. So you can actually go in here, create an order. Alright, so here's like this watch. I just like made some random product, but say they had a watch store, and they would go in here and they would put like, you know, they would do this one at a time. But they would do each order at a time, so it looked legit. But then they would type in, you know, let's just do like a big number. See all that? So it's a huge number. And then you just hit mark as paid, and then create that order. And now you will see this will actually update. See, now this is at 3 orders. It's gonna take like 20 seconds or something to actually update. But see, you're at 1,000 right now. Okay, see, so now it's at, you know, all this, and really. Like I said, they wouldn't do like 67 watches in one order. They would do one order at a time and do that 67 times to get there. But you get the point. And so usually what people are doing is actually, like I said, using a site that's up and actually maybe even gets some sales or gets website hits. So they're actually, you know, you can see like, oh, these people are live, this and that, but they're really not making anywhere near the amount of money that they're saying that they're making. But then another way that they can actually do it, which is a more like kind of advanced way, and that is by actually changing the HTML, which is basically the text behind this web page. So you can literally use the developer tools in any browser, doesn't matter what browser you're in, and you can literally change these numbers. So instead of, you know, 13,000, let's make that 13 million. Bam, just like that, right? And you can literally go and change every single number, every single value here you can change. You see what I'm saying? Like literally every single one. And so people will go and do this, and that's how they'll actually create their screenshots, is by, you know, this very thing. You see what I mean? And I mean, it's some dummy data, but you know, it looks like it's there, right? And if from an untrained eye, you would not know that that's not.
And of course, what you see online, relatable, funny, whatever, etc. People always have two sides to them. You know what they usually say, right? There's his side, her side, and the truth. It's not all lovey-dovey, not all peaches and roses in the world of Instagram, YouTube, influencers, content creators, etc.
I'm a psychologist, nigga. You don't think I can read you? I'm a psychologist, nigga. You don't think I can read right through your phony ass?
Always have, do not follow, basically don't follow anybody with a blind eye. Question anything and everything they are saying or doing.
Hours. But behind it all is a growing number of people who have beef with Williams. They say that his F rating on the Better Business Bureau is an indicator that his brands have been built off of lies, deceit, and doxing. So what exactly is doxing?
We got her kids on there as well, kids information. I put it on my Instagram.
Real quick before we get into the doxing of his customers. Now, Apple, Microsoft, all these other companies have complaints, right? No product or service or software out there is without its complaints. But it's how the company or influencer addresses those complaints that can leave a sour taste in the mouth of people who are buying the stuff.
Someone's personal or private information on the internet, typically with malicious intent. It's not illegal by law, but dozens of people like Angela Davis have come forward saying they've been doxxed by Williams. Davis is a chef influencer herself and didn't think much when she made a Twitter comment several years ago.
There was a viral lasagna video of his that was circulating on Twitter. It was going viral in a negative way this time. And I commented, much like everybody else. And I didn't really think much of it. But later that night, there was another tweet that apparently we were both linked in the same tweet, and it was sent to him and he replied to that.
She says the two went back and forth, Angela writing, quote, "I'd appreciate not being tagged with him. Thank you." Darius replies, quote, "Your work is dope. I wish I knew what makes you so angry." Sending love and positive vibes. Later that day, Davis says Darius screenshotted their conversation to his followers, writing, quote, "Yo, I mean, the hate continues. I'm done posting about this, but come on, we got to do better, people."
Anytime he doesn't like anybody talking about him, talking about his food, critiquing him anyway, he retaliates by turning that person to his audience for the purposes of his audience, harassing them. We were harassed by his audience for the rest of that week.
A woman named Danielle Holland tells us it happened to her back in February 2022.
Found pictures of me and posted them all on his Twitter and, told me that he has my social security number and that he has a background check on me.
I have Angela's background check. I have Sunny Anderson's background check and Danielle Holland background check.
She says Williams found her Twitter handle and tweeted that he has her social security number, saying, quote, "I'm telling you, I have it. Screenshot that." Williams then shared this to his followers.
That's why when you get invited to all these potential MLM meetings or job interviews, quote unquote, whether it's a PHP Insurance, WFG, Monet, IM Academy, be very cautious, especially when you're giving them. It's one thing to give them your email address, but to give them your credit card information or phone number, especially if you're not sure if you actually want to continue with the program, you might find one day they just charged your account and you were not aware. The thing with Darius, right? He's been alleged to charge people's account like $5 at a time per month. Now people can easily notice anything more than like $25, $50, right? But like $5 here and there monthly, and you do that by like 100 people, that's that's $500 a month right there, just off of charging people a small amount. So just be very careful, be very cautious, especially where you're putting your credit card or financial information, social insurance number, all that shit.
So let's get into the video and then, I'll give my commentary after.
Oh, sis, I got you. Okay, so he sold his house in Atlanta, right? And moves away because, well, for several reasons. He owes so many people. Like, they want his head so bad here in Georgia. But one of the other reasons why is because when he had those restaurants, Soul Craft and Greens and Gravy, I think it was called, some getaway shit. Anyway, when he had them, he was saying that you couldn't use any cash in his restaurants. Like, he had signs posted that cash wasn't permitted. You could only use credit or debit cards. And he was taking his patrons' credit and debit card information and was stealing it and using people's accounts, girl. Y'all, he was taking the people's shit and using it. I got more tea too. I'll be back. I got to take a call.
This ain't about no love. The whole thing was a setup.
She revealed, this in her video. It is not rumor. It is fact. I knew about this already. There are people who posted that they had charges to their credit cards from his restaurants that were unauthorized. So let's say they went to one of the restaurants and did actually legitimately have a meal. That charge was there, but then they would see an additional charge show up, a day or two later for the same amount, like either a double charge or to be some other amount. And so there were quite a few people who posted of those experiences. The other piece is where you'll know some truth. Any of you who followed or know of him, for the past few years or whatever. I forgot what year it was, but a few years ago, probably I think 3 years or so ago, the Greens and Gravy restaurant was robbed. And I'm doing this because supposedly they were robbed. They were at that time taking cash, and someone came in late at night and robbed the staff, etc. But long story short, he didn't do much for his staff, anything for his staff. But what he did do for himself is he then said that the restaurants no longer would take cash at all. Sounds on the surface to be legitimate, because now you want to protect your business from possibly being robbed. You want to let the robbers know there's not going to be any cash there. That makes sense, right?
This ain't about no love. The whole thing was a setup.
Well, yes, if you're not scamming using the credit cards and the staff is writing down the numbers of people's credit cards, not swiping them, and it was all kind of shady stuff going on. So then there was some speculation. This is all alleged. This part is alleged. It's gossip. Some people theorized that Darius Cooks, because again, he has at that point even nearly a decade of scamming, that Darius Cooks may have set up the fake robbery in order to force people to only use credit cards so that he can then get their credit card information. Again, rumor, alleged, all that. No one has been able to prove that he was behind that robbery.
Holland with her children's faces. It says, quote, "Y'all do me a favor and tell Danielle Holland we said hello. Hashtag Darius Crooks."
That's an issue that you have with me. My underage children don't have anything to do with that.
When confronted by Roland Martin on Twitter, Williams continued and wrote, quote, "F them kids." The Shade Room sat down exclusively with Darius Williams, who told us that this was all built up from months of harassment from Danielle Holland herself. It's someone he says that he's never met and has never done business with.
These are not private. These are things that she had already posted. These are things that are already on the internet. I posted it, and my caption simply was, y'all say hey to Danielle Holland. Once I did that, she went back, she deleted tweets, she put her profile on private, and then it was, oh my God, I can't believe what he's doing to me. He's doxing me.
I was on my Twitter, and as far as names, I mean, calling you a scammer, if that's what you want to, qualify as calling you names, yes, I'm calling you a scammer, a liar, a predator, a doxer. Yes, I did call him those things.
We wanted to know how he's able to get this personal information, especially background checks and social security numbers.
I have a wide network of people who follow me. I have been forwarded documents.
Yo, y'all seen that little smirk when he tried to explain how he gets people's background check? Rewind it real quick.
Especially background checks and social security numbers. I have a wide network of people who follow me. I have been forwarded documents.
That little smirk, bro. This guy. Now, wow.
Pretty much all of the people who don't like me are making all this noise. What I choose to do with that determines whether or not it's legal or not. But if I have the information, I have it. So I do actually have the background checks of some of the people. I didn't run them myself. People that work for like T-Mobile or they work for like, AT&T. And I'm like, y'all calm down. They're like, no, we can get them. I said I had it. I'm not lying about the fact that I have it. I didn't run it myself. I don't even have her personal information to run.
And so you have a business. And as a responsible business owner, do you feel like it's appropriate to address maybe potential customers or, address the masses that you have specific sensitive information and you are willing to blast it? Do you think that's irresponsible as a business owner?
Well, first, I have it. I never said I would blast it. That's not in my character. I wouldn't do that. I have way too many followers. I'm way too experienced and polished. The business piece of it, you got to understand twofold. One, I'm a business owner, but two, I'm also an influencer.
He can't seem to do anything, right? I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I can't believe what I'm seeing.
So you have to throw that inside. I have 144,000 customers. I have all their I have their names. I have their CVV. I have their credit card. I have their zip code. I have their billing. I have all of it, right? Not once have you heard of any breach of that private information. Not once have you heard any scandal regarding that.
But Williams is no stranger to scandal. In 2019, he was sued by the state of Georgia for operating an illegal credit repair business called Above 701 Incorporated. Attorney General Chris Carr claiming that Williams, quote, requested and accepted payment from consumers before services were provided and made misleading claims that the company could get bankruptcies and debts permanently deleted from credit reports. It wasn't run properly. It was actually illegal.
So I didn't know, to be quite honest, when I started it, I didn't know that you couldn't do credit repair in the state of Georgia. They said to make it all go away, pay $140,000. I wrote a check. It was over.
More fallout after 3 of his restaurants abruptly closed in February 2020. Soul Crab Atlanta, Soul Crab Chicago, and Greens and Gravy in Atlanta.
You know, if I could be honest, it just got to a point where mentally it just became way too much.
Lavelle Baker says that he was friends with Williams for over a decade and saw what was happening behind the scenes. They dated for 2 of those years. He says that Williams' shady business ventures dates back about 15 years.
Vaguely remember conversation about him, wanting to be a millionaire, but I didn't know that it was sinister.
He claims that Williams created several businesses back then, like a food truck, a cupcake store, and a food delivery business called Fresh Go. He says all of them tanked after a number of customers came forward claiming that Williams would take people's money but not fulfill orders. Lavelle says that he was a partner in the food truck business before it went south.
Uptown Pies, does that ring a bell? The Cupcake Gallery, Fresh Go, the Lunch Machine. There were several businesses that you have had over the years that have foiled. Now you have one of your business partners, Lavelle, at one point, saying that they were all a scam behind the scenes.
This has got to be about 15 years ago. So Lavelle has been holding on for this for 15 years. And I find it very ironic that now that he's becoming this...
Hey, man, it does not matter whether it happened 10 days ago, 15 years ago. If the story is relevant to me, I'm going to talk about it. Like, I don't understand why he's making it seem like, oh, just because it has happened 10 years ago, I shouldn't come forward. No one should come forward and talk about it. Right? You'd be like, oh, why are you telling all this information now? Well, it's relevant to me. I want to share my personal experience. Why do people share stories? Why do people share stories at all if it happened 10 years ago? If it happened, it happened, and you're just basically shedding light, bringing awareness to other people. If you choose to do business with Darius Cooks or other fake gurus out there, this is what you should expect. And obviously, don't rely on the influencer or whomever to give you your money back. File a dispute with your bank and go from there as another prerequisite.
On YouTube, that now this story and my name has to come up in order for him to get clicks and views and likes.
This is not the first time Williams has been called out for scamming customers. Celebrities and influencers have also joined the conversation. Celebrity chef Sunny Anderson gave Williams his start on her Food Network show back in 2010, but in a tweet back in March 2022, Anderson implied that Williams tried to get her to invest.
Are they all lying? Are they all lying? All the people out here from different backgrounds, not just women, but men too, coming out talking about you. Are they all lying? They just want to see you fall. I can get it, a little bit. What's the saying? You live long enough to you either die a hero or live long enough to be a villain. You know what I'm saying? But come on, all these people on the Better Business Bureau complaints are lying about you on Reddit. They're all lying about you. Come on now.
One of his companies. She said, quote, "Hey Darius, stop trying to divert attention by saying I was jealous of you. The emails don't lie. You tried to get me to invest in one of your scams and I tried to support, but my attorney reviewed your paperwork and that was a no."
Darius, hold on before you start. When my supporters come over there and support you, trust and believe they mean it from their heart. And for you not to send them their merchandise, she been asking you. I got all the receipts, Darius.
Social media influencer Andrew Caldwell on live blasting Williams on behalf of his fans who claim that they were not receiving kitchenware that they ordered on his website.
What's the person's name?
I'm not finna block her because you're known for putting out people information.
I mean, you have these people saying that you are not a good business person, and they're all singing the same tune.
Sunny and I, we haven't spoken in at least 10, 11, 12 years. Andrew Caldwell is a whole different ball game. We were cool a month ago. Now all of a sudden he's beefing with me. I have no idea what that's about.
People need to understand there's like real life implications for some of these bad business deals that have gone wrong. I have a platform and I have a loud mouth, and that's why I decided to keep talking about it.
Davis also claims that Darius Williams stole some of her cookbook recipes in the past, will just remix them to make it seem like they're his. It's something that the Williams has denied. Now, we do want to point out too that Darius Williams has never been criminally charged and sentenced to jail for many of these allegations. But if you do feel like you've been scammed by one or more of his businesses, you're urged to reach out to your state attorney general's office or the U.S. Security and Exchange Commission.
As you look and see, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. Do your research before investing money into any guru, fake guru, scammer, alleged scammer online. And always be aware of the fact that if your order is at any time delayed or canceled, you must be offered a chance to refund or allow your order to still be valid for future reference. So if your order is canceled or delayed, you must be offered a refund or allow your order to be valid when it's delayed or canceled. You see? But as always, if it doesn't feed you, don't water it. And too much of any good thing is good for nothing. How you look doing today? Say it with me. I am doing more, saying less, and keeping that same energy. No cap. Flip the script. I'm out. Deuces. Bow.
want you closer. Every day me I be calling, babe. Wanna tell you that I'm sorry, babe. Make you come and make you go today. I still love you and you know it, babe. Every day me I be calling, babe. Wanna tell you that I'm sorry, babe. Make you come and make you go today. I still love you, babe. One lie, baby, our love is a sweet game.